Hello, welcome to the channel and welcome back to Resurwreck Autos HQ. Today, guys, is going to be a little bit different than the plan was from yesterday, because originally yesterday I turned around and said we'll be working on the vans today. We're not working on the vans today, guys. We're working actually on one of my sister's cars. She has got some problems with it. It's misfiring, so I've got to go and collect it with a trailer, bring it back here. We'll have a look at it. It's going to be an injector, so I've already plugged it in. So yeah, needs a bit of work. There's a bit of a plan for it as well. I'll explain everything when I get the car back. Yesterday's video uploading just took forever, like last night, and the reason why it took so long is because I had to redo it and download it again, because the first time I'd done it, and it was going to go out at normal time, 6 o'clock. But I changed the music on the actual video, on the time lapses, and YouTube gave me a copyright strike for using different music. Because I was getting messages like, you know, why don't you try different music, get a little bit bored with this. And I thought, all right, let's switch it up a little bit. Let's see if I can use something else. Yeah, use something else, and yeah, got a copyright strike. And 3 strikes, and you're out, basically, YouTube. So I've got to go back to my normal music that I bought, or didn't buy. He made for me, a music producer. So, yeah, that was the reason why it was so late last night, and it won't happen again. Simple as that, really, hopefully. So yeah, just wanted to quickly explain what happened last night. But yeah, for today, guys, let's go and collect her car. Let's bring it back. I'll show you what it is, show you what's going on, show you what we've got to do, explain everything. Like I said, there's a bit of a plan for it once I've fixed it. So let's get into it. Let's do this. Right, guys, here we go. This is my sister's car. Very unusual colour, but she loves it. So it's a Ford Fusion, 1.4 TDCI diesel engine, and it's a 2007 reg. I think it's done 113,800 miles. Not that bad really for age, and being it's a diesel, but we have got a bit of a misfire happening, and it's running really lumpy. Light comes up, not the engine management light, but there's another light that comes up to do with the actual the engine and stuff. So it's an injector. I plugged it in to the computer, and it's telling me that it's cylinder 1 misfire. So, and she's had this before, exactly the same problem, and it was cylinder 3. So she had that injector changed, and at the time when she did have it changed, they turned around and said, you really should change all of them. But these injectors are just an absolute stupid amount of money at the minute. So I'm just trying to ring around. I'm just trying to get the best deal that I can for her. But at the minute, most of them are saying £300 plus VAT. Some of them, it's crazy money for an injector. But I think it's because there's a shortage, and they know it, so they're putting their prices up. Yeah, which is not good. But the plan really for this car, and I've spoke to her about it, basically what we're going to do is just get it back up and running, and smooth, and how it should run. And then basically she's going to sell it, and then get that amount of money that we sell it for, or she sells it for. And then I'm going to take that pot of money for her, and then I'm going to get her a car for, you know, a little bit cheaper, probably a Cat N, nothing too structurally damaged, nothing like that, but it's just a Cat N, and just see what I can find for her. But just obviously a newer car. Basically, this is 2007, so if we can find a 2011, 2012, do a little bit of work to it, and then, you know, she's got a newer car with less mileage. That's the plan. Things don't normally go to plan sometimes, guys, you know that. But that's it for now. But I have actually just had a phone call from someone, and I want to go and have a look at it quickly. It's only around a corner before we get into this, because this is going to take a lot of time stripping that engine down to get to that injector. So we will jump on this when I come back, but for the moment I've got to go and help someone out around a corner, and basically he's got a Fiesta and he's overfilled with oil, and white smoke is now kicking out the back. His dad phoned me yesterday and said, look, could you come over and just pull out the oil and then just put in the right amount. Basically, the son saw that there was a low oil light come up. He went to Halfords and then just got 5 litres and chucked 5 litres straight in the car. On top of whatever was already in there, plus the 5 litres. So he's massively overfilled the car, and he may have done damage to it. But all his dad wants me to do is pull the oil out to the correct level, and then we'll assess it and see. We'll go from there, really, basically. So yeah, let me go and do that first. Let me come back, and then we'll start stripping this engine down and getting it sorted. And I'll let you know what happens with that Fiesta. Who knows? He may just go, well, do you want to buy it and fix it up yourself? And, you know, I don't know. I'll have to have a look at it. We'll go from there. I'll let you know when I get back. So let me go off and do that first, guys. I'll come and see you soon, and we'll get stuck into this. Right, guys. So I'm back from doing that little job for someone, and I've put my sister's car over this end. The little Fusion diesel TDCI. So yeah, most of this have all got to be stripped down, stripped off, and get rid of, so I can get to the injector cylinder 1. Yeah, so we'll do that in a second, but I just want to quickly talk about what I just did. So basically, the guy, he's not even driving a year. Guy, it's a kid, really. He's 19. Don't know much about cars. And an oil light come on the dash, but it wasn't the original, like a normal oil light. It was an orange oil can with some squiggly lines underneath it. I don't know if that's got something to do with. It's definitely not got anything to do with topping up oil. I don't think it's engine oil low. Something else is going on there. Plugged in the computer. Nothing's coming up on the computer about it. It's really, really strange. I'm going to do a little bit more digging for him. But basically what he did was he bought 5 litres of oil and then just kept topping the oil up. Without checking it as he's going, he just kept topping it up, keep putting it in. And the light was still there, and he just kept putting more in. And eventually he put the whole 5 litres on top of what he originally had in the car, which was the right amount. So you can tell, like, he just literally drove it up the road and then drove it back again. And so I drained out the oil underneath from the sump, made sure that the correct oil was there, what the engine needed, and I literally took out the 5 litres that he put in. But he was so lucky. That could have done a lot more damage. Because it's a diesel as well, I think that's what helped. If it was a petrol, it would have got a lot more hotter, a lot quicker, and I think that's kind of what saved it, really. Was being a diesel, and the oil didn't get hot quick enough to go around the system, but it was a lot of oil in there, and he literally only drove it up the road. So luckily, I think he got away with it. So I've still got to do a little bit more digging on that car for him. I think he's gonna want to. I think he wants to book it in on a Friday, so that could be Friday's video, guys. I'll show you that car on Friday. But for now, let's crack on with my sister's car, and let's see if we can get this sorted out for her. I'm finding it hard finding these injectors at the minute. I'm finding it hard. So yeah, let's start stripping all this down, getting in there and getting to that injector. So I'll set you up on a tripod. Let's do this. Right, guys, so that took some time. Yeah, basically that cover had to come off. The time belt cover on that side had to come off. I had to loosen up all these bolts, get that off. I've kept the pump, diesel pump, where it is, so that should be fine. But you can see the mess and state that it's in underneath there. Diesel engine, typical, isn't it? Just normal sort of, just normal way these diesel engines go, really. So I'm going to clean up as much as I can, all that, get that cleaned up as much as I can, but be careful because can't let nothing drop through those holes. That's a no-no. So yeah, and basically the computer was telling me that it was cylinder 1, and this is cylinder 1 right here. It goes from the belt side 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, this should be our culprit, that injector right there. So you can, I don't know if you can see that, there's a little circlip on the side, just down there. There's a circlip. See it? So you've got to pull that clip off and then get that bolt out there that holds it in place. I think you've got to hold the line, this line here, this bolt here. So you hold it there, I think with a 13 or 14, and then you undo that while you're holding that one there, and that pulls that line off. And we should just be able to pull that injector out. I'm hoping it's not seized in there. Fingers crossed, guys, that should just come out, hopefully. But that's our next task. I'm going to put a cover over that just in case anything drops down there, over on the cams. So let's cover that up first as well. Give that a clean up and then pull that injector out and then see if we can go and get one. See if they've got it. Fingers crossed that we can get this done. So let me set you up. Let's go for it. Right, okay, guys. So, as you can see, I've pulled the injector out, and it's a proper mess in there, to be honest with you. So I think it's best practice to really remove these all, and just replace this one here, which I've just come back from the shop, actually, ordered it. They haven't got it in stock. It'll be here tomorrow, though. And they're going to be sort of bringing it out to me. Whilst I was there, I did pick up some new washers. You can see this is the old one here. So I think it's just best practice to change the washers, to change these little O-rings, change these seals as well. I think they go on there. I'll have to check, make sure. It's probably stuck inside the actual where the injector sits. It's probably stuck in there, so I'll pull that out. I also got a leak off pipe as well, just in case. So I'll change these parts over. We'll take out the other injectors, but only replace the one in cylinder 1, and then we'll just clean up the rest, and we'll just change over the gaskets and change over the bits and pieces we need to. And the O-rings, I think it's going to be, yeah, I can feel it. That rubber thing is, that not rubber thing, that black seal, I think, is stuck in there. So yeah, that's where we are. And we need to now pull out these three. You can see this is the leak off pipe. This is what I've just got in that pack.
And yeah, I think we might as well change it if it fits and it's the right one. We'll just change it over, and yeah, just clean it all up, and then just see how dirty and horrible it is down there. Look, it's just horrible, isn't it? So we'll just give it a good clean up as well. It's sort of, these injectors are terrible for leaking. It's got to be what it is, isn't it? Not unless it's the oil sort of kicking out this gasket, this cam cover gasket kicking over here and then kicking down there. It could be that on the on the cam cover. Yeah, it could be. Don't know, it feels alright. It feels newish. Strange. Maybe they're not tightening it down properly. I don't know. Anyway, we've got to clean up all the bits and pieces. We'll keep going, and then I'll have to come back tomorrow, guys, on this, and we'll continue once the injector turns up and we get it installed and fitted. And then, yeah, we'll just keep going and cleaning up. So bear with me for a minute. I'll get all this cleared out, cleaned up, and I'll come back to you. Right, okay, guys. Yeah, that didn't go to plan. So let me just explain what has happened since the last bit. Today is actually the next day, and yeah, I just couldn't get it done all in one day for us, so I had to split it up into 2 days. So yeah, I've come in this morning, and I thought, right, I need to set the camera up on the tripod. We need to start pulling these other injectors down. We need to start cleaning it all up and everything else. And that's what I did. I set the camera up, started to film it all. And basically what happened was this injector, number 3, was seized solid. So do you know what I thought? I'm not going to risk damaging another injector or, you know, costing her more money. So I thought, do you know what, let's just leave them. I think I'm going to be just causing more problems here. So yeah, that's what I did. I left those other 3. That's the new injector. That's been put in place. For some reason as well, they took when they come and dropped it off, they actually took the old one with them, which is, I've not come across that before. I have come across it when it comes to sort of alternators, starter motors and stuff like that, but not injectors. Really strange. But anyway, they wanted to take the old one, so that's gone. And like I said, I filmed it, everything, but I filmed it. I thought I filmed it. I thought I pressed time lapse on my phone, and it didn't work. Basically, yeah, it's happened to me a few times now, but. So that's where we are. So I've started to put the cam cover gasket back on, the cover back on, just all plug it all back in, and put it all back together. Basically, that's what stage I'm at. But yeah, you kind of missed a little bit because of what happened. But there we go. We are getting there. So let me just make sure I set you up on the tripod and it works. You know, pressing the time lapse. And then we'll put it all back together, guys, and then we're going to fire it up and see. I'm sure it's much better. I'll clear any codes on the computer. I'll make sure that it's all running smooth. She has got some issues with this car. There's a serious oil leak. It's a diesel engine. It's done over 100,000 miles. So, you know, and it's 2007. It's 2007 reg, so it's an older car. But she can't keep throwing money at this car, basically. So it's just going to be fixed up as it is, get back on the road, all running smooth and nicely, and then it's going to be sold. That's basically what's going to happen, and I'm going to try and find her a newish car with less mileage for her to drive about with. So, yeah, and it's really hot again today. It's really hot, so I've got to keep drinking water and, you know, taking rests if I don't feel right and stuff like that. So, yeah, but, yeah, anyway, that's where we are. Let me set you up. Let's get going. Let's get all this back together. Let's do this. So, there we go, guys. All back together. And yeah, let me show you. First of all, I plugged the computer in to see if there's any codes coming up. Nothing's come up. And so nothing's coming up on the dash. It did struggle for a couple of turns. To be honest, I won't lie. It did struggle a little bit, but because I've undone all the fuel lines, it just needed to circulate a lot better before it actually fired. Plus, you've got like a hand pump here as well that helps. Pump that up a few times, and then yeah, away she goes. We have got a little bit of burning off stuff where I've been using a brake cleaner underneath there and cleaning it all off. It's obviously smoking a little bit there, but that's what that is. Typical when you're doing work on doing work on your cars and stuff. When you're cleaning up stuff, it just burns it off. So that's what all that is. But apart from that, it's ticking over really, really nice. But you know, I suppose really the actual test is going to be the road test, isn't it? Yeah, absolutely not missing a beat, so that's good. And no lights on the dash. So it seems like changing that injector was definitely the problem. Like I said to you guys, she has got other problems on this engine. I'll be honest with you, there's a lot of oil leaks and there's a lot of bits and pieces that really need to be done. If she was keeping it, she's not keeping it, it's just going to go. You know, and it'll just be a nice little run around for someone who wants to tinker around with it. Or, you know, don't get me wrong, it's fine, it's running, it's perfect. And it's in nice condition, actually, as well. For the age, it's in a nice, really nice condition. So, yeah, it'll, you know, it's a nice, biggish family car. So it'll be a nice little run around for someone once she puts it up for sale, I believe. So, yeah, there we go. Right, I think the next thing to do is take it for a test drive. Then I'll come back and then hopefully, fingers crossed, there's no other issues, no problems with it. And then, as long as there's no problems and issues, I want to show you a new new bit of kit that I've got. It's a new tool, a new bit of kit for diesel engines, and it's for well, it's mainly for diesel engines, but it's for diesel and petrol carbon build-up cleaner. So, and a lot of people, especially the mechanics, they're not liking it really, because it's a bit of a quicker way of carbon cleaning the engine without the labour of stripping it down. And a lot of the mechanics ain't liking it because they're not getting it's something now that people don't have to pay for, a strip down to carbon clean their engine. So some people agree with it, some people don't agree with it, some people think no, there's no proof that it works. But I'll explain when I get back. Let me go for a test drive, and then we'll set it all up, and I'll show you what I've got, because the other thing as well, the engine needs to be hot for this to work. So yeah, bear with me guys, and I'll be back soon. Right guys, I am back from the road test, and absolutely fine. It did not miss a beat, no problems whatsoever. Was no hesitation. The turbo was really, really good. No, I've checked it again on the computer. There's no lights on the dash. So yeah, it seems like we've solved that problem for her. Like I said to you before, there is problems on this car. We've only solved one of them. But whilst I've got this car and it's a diesel engine, I thought it'll be a perfect opportunity to give it a clean out with the new machine that I've got. And yeah, I want you to take a look at this. So this is what I purchased basically for, I need to keep the car running because I need to keep it hot. That's why it's so loud. So that's why it's still running, guys. I can't turn it off for a minute. I basically bought this because my truck is a diesel, and that was kicking out some black smoke. And I thought, do you know what? It's probably got a bit of carbon build up on that engine. And I looked into sort of carbon cleaning machines and bits and pieces, and I come across this, and I thought, do you know what? It's cheap enough that if it works, fantastic. If it don't, I've not lost a great deal of money. Now, there's going to be a lot of people looking at this and thinking, like, just laughing, going, there's no way that this is going to be a carbon cleaner. And at first, I completely agree with you. I honestly did. But I managed to... These are about £250 new, this machine. But I managed to pick this up on the old eBay, second hand, only used once or twice, the guy said, and it's looking at it, he's probably correct. I managed to pick it up for like 70 quid. £70. I thought, do you know what? It's well worth getting it for £70. If it don't work, it don't work. If it does, it does. Do you know what? I plugged it into my truck, and it cleared all the black smoke completely. So I'm going to do it with my sister's car on this one, because it's a diesel as well. So basically how it works is it's got a solution where you mix up these crystals with, and the solution goes into the top of here, and then you've got a little gauge here that tells you if it's like empty or full, and you can see that it's that much. So it stops a little bit, but we don't need to fill it back up, it's fine. And then you've got obviously a power lead, and then you've got this hose. Hold on, let me just come out a little bit more, that's it. And then you've got this hose that builds the pressure basically, and you turn it on, let the pressure build up when it's low, when it's off, and then you put this point here goes into the intake, the air intake of the engine, and I'll show you where it goes. So basically you've got, let me turn it off just for a few seconds. I can't turn it off for long because I want to keep it hot, but basically you've got the intake here that goes to the turbo. So you have to put it into a pipe that's after the sensor, MAF sensor, which is this one here. So after that sensor, but before the turbo. So this bracket here. So if we undo this, pull that away, and then you poke the actual thing inside there, and it goes into the turbo. And then you leave it in there for 10 minutes. basically the whole thing, let me just turn this car back on. Basically the whole process takes about 50 minutes to an hour. And basically what you keep doing is you put it in to a pipe, turn it on, and every 10 minutes you have to rev the engine. Every 10 minutes. So basically, when you're revving the engine, it's clearing out all the crap through the system and out through the exhaust. Now, again, guys, I know there's going to be a lot of people thinking, no way. There's no way that is going to carbon clean an engine. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying, no way am I saying this is going to turn that engine with no carbon and it's going to look like brand new inside, because it won't. It will help, but it won't completely clear. The only way to completely carbon clean an engine is to take the engine out, strip it all down, clean absolutely every single part and put it all back together. That is the only way to completely get rid of carbon. This is just it's not a temporary measure, but it cleans it. It's a slight clean. Do you know what I mean? So it's not a perfect clean, but it does help, because it helped my truck, and I couldn't believe it did, but it did. It actually helped clear my truck. So let me set it up, and then after 10 minutes I'll come back to you and I'll show you the crap that kicks out of that back of that exhaust. So yeah, bear with me, guys, and I'll see you in a bit. Right, okay, guys, so yeah, as you can see, it's all been hooked up. Originally I said this side, and it's wrong. It's this side. After looking at it again and starting to work out where it goes, it's this side it needs to pull, but you need to pass it through past the sensor. So it's right in there, past the sensor, and it's drawing the air through into the turbo and then through to the system. So that's what it was. It wasn't that side. I was completely wrong. But yeah, got it to the right side in the end. And let's see if it's kicking out some black smoke at the back. See if it's cleaning, shall we? So here we go. Some serious smoke come out of that. So yeah, but that's basically what happens, yeah, when you're doing it. So now we'll wait another 10 minutes and then do it again, and then you just keep doing it for about, I think it's about an hour, 50 minutes, something like that. So we'll do it a few more times, and then when it gets to about 40 minutes, I'll come back to you on the last one, and I'll show you the end result. But it should be a lot cleaner and drive a lot better. So yeah, bear with me, guys. I'll see you in a bit. Right, okay, guys, so this is the last one. It's been going for this about 50 minutes now, 40 minutes. So this is going to be the last one that it actually says to do after 10 minutes. So let's see if it's made any difference. Hardly anything. And you see what it was before? It was just kicking out. Now there's hardly anything. So it's got to have done something, surely. Like I just don't know, guys, with this machine. But I've done it anyway, and I'll take it for another test drive and I'll see if it makes any difference. But I'm assuming that it will, because it made a big difference on that truck, I'm telling you, when I did it on that. So yeah, I'm not sure how it works. I'm gonna get a few people saying, how does it work, guys, I do not know. I've not looked enough into this actual machine model to be able to tell you too much, really. I've got to be honest. But yeah, it's done. It must have done something, because I've got hardly any black smoke kicking out the back now. So well, there we go. I'm sure you'll be seeing this again on other vehicles, so don't worry about that. But for now, I'll give my sister a call and she can come and collect her car, and fingers crossed it'll sort of, you know, be all right for a bit until she gets rid of it. So there we go. Guys, that is going to be the end of today's video, and the end of this little Ford Fusion. Yeah, so fingers crossed for my sister, guys, that she can actually get rid of this now, and we can try and use that money that she makes on this. We can get her something from the salvage auction, a nice category N non-structural car, and we can get a little bit more money. And if she wants, I'll just keep flipping it till she gets an half decent one. So yeah, I might as well try and help the family as much as I can, whilst I've got, you know, the lockup and the unit and the setup I'm doing. If I can help the family a bit out, I've got this fan going all day at the minute. It's just crazy hot. That feels so nice. So I'm going to stand here in front of the fan for a bit, have a drink. But guys, yeah, for now, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care, and see you soon.